Running a successful employee workshop isn't as easy as it looks. And I'm going to share 6 of my essential tips to make sure that your workshop is a success. Firstly, who am I? My name is Tyler. I'm the founder of Loving Life, and I deliver a range of employee well-being workshops to help companies support the health and well-being of their employees. I've been doing this for years now, but when I started, I made some horrible mistakes that I was able to learn from, and these 6 tips will help employees love your workshop. Number 1, have you ever been in a room where everyone is quiet? People are feeling awkward. Maybe there's some uncomfortable and awkward silences. Well, you do not want this to be the case in your workshop. The room should be filled with smiles and happy faces. This is why the first step is to make everyone feel as comfortable as possible. Make everyone feel comfortable being in the room with each other.
How do you do that?
I can hear you asking. Well, there's a range of different methods that you can use, but I'll share a few suggestions with you now, and you can decide what you feel is best for you and your audience. Firstly, ask everyone to introduce themselves. Introduce themselves to the person next to them. This might make them feel a little uncomfortable at first, but this will allow for a much more engaging workshop. Set clear guidelines for people to introduce themselves. This could be saying, tell the person next to you your name, your department, and your shoe size. Whatever works for you. Make it easy and light-hearted so that attendees feel comfortable. You could also run some icebreaker games. You could ask people to stand in line in order based on their birthday. So if you was born in January the 1st, you'd stand at the front. And if you was born on December 31st, you'd stand at the end. Activities like this get people talking with each other. This helps the workshop attendees get more familiar with one another. And this makes them feel more comfortable, which means your workshop can be filled with creativity and communication. 2, imagine that you've been told to attend a workshop. You have no idea what it's about. As the facilitator begins to start the session, you're still confused what the session is going to involve. And as you're sitting there wondering, you're starting to feel anxious. Uncertainty can cause all types of emotions within individuals. This is why it's important to have a clear agenda for your workshop so that attendees know what to expect. Explain at the start of the workshop what you hope to achieve, what the goals are, and what the aims are for the session. This gives attendees an idea of what to expect from the session. This can reduce their anxious feelings and thoughts and provides them with some clarity about what the session will involve. And this makes them feel more comfortable. So make sure you've got a clear agenda for your workshop. 3, nobody likes to attend a boring workshop. Attendees don't want to sit and listen to you waffle for half an hour, or worse, an hour, or worse, 3. Attendees want to feel involved, inspired. They want to feel a part of the session. They want to feel like they're getting something out of it. And this is why a good workshop usually has some form of interaction. So make your workshop interactive. This could involve asking attendees questions or getting them to discuss topics in pairs or groups. You could even set them challenges. There are many ways to make your workshop interactive. So please don't just talk at them for an hour. 4, taking on new information and learning in a workshop can be tiring and draining. Most of our attention spans only last so long. This is why, depending on the length of your workshop, you need to incorporate breaks. Whether it's a break to get up and get a cup of tea or coffee, or go to the bathroom. If your workshop is any longer than 90 minutes, you need to think about adding a break. Now, this needs to be structured so that it doesn't mess up your workshop. You need to have set guidelines. Make it clear and specific so that attendees know how long they have for their break. And you decide how long that is, and based on the length of session that you're delivering. 5, can you remember the last TV show or film that made you laugh? Or perhaps can you remember the last TV show or film that made you cry? How did that experience make you feel? When we watch a TV show or film that makes us laugh, we often leave feeling happy. We want to watch that show again. We enjoyed our time watching that show. So when delivering your workshop, how can you connect with the emotions of your attendees? How can you make them feel the emotions that you want them to feel? In one of my employee wellbeing workshops, I talk about how we can harness the power of gratitude to help us live happier and healthier lives. Research shows that those who practice gratitude regularly often live happier and more fulfilling lives. And when I talk about this, I share a personal experience from my life to help connect with the emotions of my workshop attendees. Let me give you the example. I share with my attendees that I'm grateful for my double bed. You see, there was a time in my life when I didn't have a double bed. In fact, I didn't even have a bedroom. I was sleeping on the sofa for almost 2 years. This was a time in my life where all I wanted was to get a double bed and have my own bedroom. And now that I've got my double bed, I remember to be grateful for it. You see, there's always something to be grateful for when we look deep enough. Now, when I share that story, it helps highlight the importance of gratitude. That story connects with most of my workshop attendees, and it allows them to think about things that they're grateful for. When you connect with the emotions of workshop attendees, it allows you to leave a lasting impression. 6. You know those TV series that always end with a cliffhanger, making you want to watch the next episode? You're intrigued about what's coming next. You want to tune in next week. Well, you don't want your workshops to end like this. Your workshops need to end with a clear message. Attendees need to leave your workshop feeling like they've gained something and learned something. So at the end of your session, you need to make sure that you recap what you've spoken about. Ask attendees to share their key takeaways, what they've learned from the session, what they've taken away from the session. Your workshop shouldn't end with employees confused about the next steps for them. And a recap is a great way to reinforce what you've discussed in that workshop. So let's end this video with a recap. Make sure that your workshop makes people feel comfortable, has a clear agenda, has interactive elements to it, has relevant breaks, connects with attendee emotions, and ends with a recap. As I mentioned, I deliver a range of employee wellbeing workshops to help companies support the health and well-being of their employees. If you're interested in finding out more, get in touch via the website. But remember, a happy workforce is a productive workforce.